All right, we are now joined by UCLA head coach Corey Close and student athletes Charisma Osborne and Kiki Rice. We will get started from an opening statement from Coach Close, followed by questions for the student athletes. Coach Close?
I first of all want to say how important it is to be able to play at home, how thankful I am for the work that goes into getting that great crowd tonight. It was electric and fun, and to do that when there's no students on campus. Kids are gone for spring break, all of those factors, and the way that our administration, support staff, marketing, athletic communication, I'm sure I'm leaving people out, work to get that crowd. I just want to say how thankful we are. Credit to Cal Baptist. I think they're just so well coached. They know who they are. I thought we did a pretty good job limiting their three-point looks. I think at halftime they were 1 for 9, but they got off at 14, I think, or 12 in the second half. It's going to be the number one thing for our game against Creighton. So just really want to give credit to them for just how well coached they are. They won. They only lost 3 games all year for a reason. Credit to them. But really proud of these two right here. I just think that even though we were taking good shots, I thought, in the first half, for the most part, I think we fell in love with the 3 a little bit for a period of time, but we were taking good shots, and we weren't being rewarded, and these two steadied the ship. And they kept hunting for the right shots. I mean, Charisma had 9 rebounds in the first half. And I just think her senior leadership was so huge. And obviously, how she had 15, and 9, do I have that right? Was just huge for us. And then Kiki, I thought, beginning of the game especially, was just the only one hitting jump shots. And then we were able to get her out in transition a little bit more. She was able to get downhill out in those situations, and they really steadied us. So, bottom line is every game is going to require something slightly different. And if you want to earn another opportunity, you got to step up to whatever that game presents. And they stepped up and made that happen, and I'm proud to be able to prepare for another game.
We're going to open it up for questions in the room. We're going to go front corner here.
Coach, ladies, congratulations on the win. Crystal Rich, KTLA 5 Local News. Kiki, 2-part question for you. This, from the eye test, just seemed like an incredibly fast-paced and physical game. Your thoughts on the physicality? And second question, you guys went into the half with a 12-point lead. What was working really well in the second half to allow you guys to pull away so much?
Yeah, definitely was a fast, physical game. They have a lot of quick guards, and they play basically 5 guards the entire time. So we knew that we'd have to really get out in the perimeter and be ready to defend. And I think, at halftime, we felt good. We knew we weren't hitting our shots, but we felt like, those are going to fall in the second half. Let's continue to do the things that were working for us. And we felt like that was getting the ball into the post, to continuing to put an emphasis on guarding by yourselves, defending without fouling, and then really just keeping to attack and transition. And I think we came out at the beginning of the third quarter and did those things really well.
We're going to go to the second row on the end here.
Ben Balch, Los Angeles Times. Charisma, did you know you were 1 assist short of a triple-double? And Kiki, did you know that you could have given it to her with that 3-pointer in the last minute?
Yeah, I did know. But it's okay. She'll make the next one.
We were all trying to get her the opportunity. It was great to have her get that one in the corner to London. We were trying to put us in a situation where they had to choose between the pocket pass to Christine or the fill behind person. And so, but, I think she'd rather have the win any day.
We're going to go in the front corner here.
Crystal Rich again, KTLA. Charisma, coach mentioned it. You had 9 rebounds at the half. In the second half, though, I felt like you really found your shot. What led you to feeling more comfortable? And I just want to remind you, you kind of opened the quarter with that shot, that jumper. You got your own steal, led to the Kiki and one. What led to you just feeling so comfortable?
Yeah, I think just letting go of what happened in the first half and just being more confident in the second half. We have reset routines, so I did mine and just kind of let go and just know. I knew that I put in the work to make those shots, so that kind of just was my mindset, and I think everyone pretty much had that mindset going into the second half.
And then just one last question for you, Charisma. Early in the season, you told me that you forewent the NBA, the WNBA, to come back here because you felt like this team was special. After your first one in the tournament, how are you feeling about this team now?
Yeah, my feelings haven't changed. I think I think we are really special, and we have so many different weapons offensively and defensively. And tonight you guys saw, like, we didn't even have Lauren playing tonight, and soon hopefully we'll get her back. But we're so talented, and I know that this team can really go far as long as we keep doing what the coaches are asking us to do.
Second row on the near side.
Ben Bulch again. Can you talk about the boost that Gabriella gave you tonight in that start? Her toughness, just, more minutes she got, the bigger impact she had on the game.
Yeah, I think Gabs did a fantastic job today. She stepped in starting at the 4, and that's not really what she's been playing most of the season. But one thing about Gabs is that she's always willing to do whatever it takes to help this team win. And I think she's been studying the plays at the 4, just figuring out what she needs to do. And she came out, she rebounded well, she was calling for the ball, and was really aggressive. And I think that really helped us.
And I really just loved how, she's like, get me the ball inside. Every time out, she's like, they can't stop me. And I think the team saw that, and even Coach Corey emphasized that at halftime. So I really love that confidence that she had in herself.
We're going to go front row with the black suit jacket.
Excuse me. Gavin Carlson, Daily Bruin. Coach, we've talked in the past
Questions
about...
for the student athletes only. We'll get to Coach Close in a minute.
Apologies, my bad. Sorry. For the players...
They're way more interesting anyway.
My bad. It felt like the Cal Baptist student section seemed pretty loud. Did it kind of feel abnormal being at home but having to almost face a road environment at times, especially when they went on that, I believe, 10-0 run at some point?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely brought a lot of fans, but I thought that made it a great environment. And to see their student section normally where the den is for us, it was definitely interesting. But no, it was fun. I think they did a great job bringing their fans here, and we also had a lot of great fans. So just that environment made the game that much better to play in.
And I think it kind of reminded me of Oklahoma last year. They had a good amount of fans. So it kind of was a little similar to that. But it makes it fun when the other team has fans and the crowd is going back and forth. We're going back and forth.
Any more questions for student athletes?
Lauren Wayne, the Daily Bruin. How did you all stay anchored without Lauren, and how did the 4-game stretch in the middle of the season without her inform what you all did today?
Yeah, I think the stretch where we didn't have Lauren definitely helped us today, just because we knew how we needed to play without her. But I think it was still great to hear her voice on the sideline and just how supportive she was, and she'll be back soon.
We're going to go in the second row on the far side.
Hey, congrats, ladies. You guys talk about letting it go at halftime or Gab's confidence. How much of this, you guys have been together for 2 years now, the chemistry has grown. How much has the last 2 years of experience sort of helped with those types of things in the crunch?
I think it's helped a lot. We know each other really well. We know, I know what Kiki's go-to moves are, what she really likes. It's she's really good in transition and getting downhill. So I think just over the last 2 years, just working together a lot, talking, and just with anyone on the team, we all know what each other does really well, and we try to put each other in those positions.
All right, that's all we have time for the student athletes. Thank you, ladies, for your time.
Thanks. Thank you. Sorry.
We're going to open up to questions for Coach Close. We're going to go in second row in the middle here. We'll get to you next. I'm sorry.
You're next.
Sabrina Merchant, The Athletic. Coach, Kiki kind of alluded to this, that Gabs was, starting at the 4, which she hasn't really done this season, but it kind of seemed like you guys were using her in a lot of the same ways you use Lauren, too. What can you say about Gabrielle's versatility and how that was on?
Well, I think it starts with Gab's toughness and heart. It's always more important to Gabs to win than to do anything that she's comfortable with. And she showed a little bit of everything tonight, right? She showed herself on the rebound. She showed herself in the post, hitting a couple threes off the bounce, So, I just think it's really about her attitude. And now that's a good matchup to do that because they're playing 4 guards. And so even though she's playing the 4, she's playing against a guard. which is a favorable matchup for us. And they were really flooding the paint, but she was getting out and running so hard in transition that it's going to be hard to double team in that scenario. And I just thought she did a great job pressing them in transition and forcing to flatten out their defense so that we were able to get other things as well as her touches in that area. But Gabs has been a warrior. And you just see that she's just maturing in her confidence. And, she texted me last night, was like, okay, can you send me the plays at the floor that we think we're going to use the most? And then, I checked in with her this morning. She's like, I'm ready, Coach. I'm ready. She just loves this so much. And she is so proud to wear those 4 letters and such a competitor. She's tough. You look at over her first 2 years and you look at the most pressurized moments and who was really comfortable in those moments, Gabs always rises to the top. And as she's adding to her toolbox and her skill set and then having that mentality, boy, the future is bright for Gabs.
Third row in the white top.
Finally.
Thank you. Haley Sawyer, SoCal News Group. Corey, I know this week urgency and punching first was a huge emphasis for you. So how well do you think they executed that tonight? And are you confident they can kind of carry it over into Monday too?
Well, if they want to play, if they want to keep playing, they're going to have to, right? I think that's the name of the game in this tournament. There's can you respond quickly? Can you grow significantly? Can you execute a brand new scouting report with a completely different set of expectations and responses that are going to be needed? And, I think that's the key to making a deep run in March is can you do that? Can you have that kind of consistent urgency and understanding that every possession matters? That's not a cliche. That's like reality. If you don't treat it that way, it'll be your last game. So I just think it's very simple. Do you want to keep playing? Then you better punch first and punch often and better stay locked in mentally for 40 minutes. I thought we were B+ in that area. I thought we had some lapses in there that we needed to be better about, but I thought we responded quicker. Both timeouts I had to call, we responded out of those and made big runs out of both those timeouts. And my challenge to them in the locker room was, can you do that on your own? Can you do that at a dead ball or after a free throw? Can you connect and make that response quicker and not wait for a timeout to make those things happen?
We're going to go second row on the near side.
Just want to check on Lauren, what happened there, and what's her availability going forward for Creighton?
Yeah, I'm hopeful. Nothing major. I'm hopeful we're going to be able to get her back. Hopefully on Monday. I don't know yet for sure, but we are hopeful that we're going to be able to have her on Monday.
We're going to go front row on the near side.
Coach, when asked about Gabs, you were talking about toughness. Just wondering your thoughts on the toughness of London tonight. Felt like she stretched the floor for you, took a nasty fall, got back in that game shortly after, made some plays defensively. What did you see?
I mean, London is just, she's so feisty. And my challenge to her is making plays whether she shoots well or not. Obviously, when London's cooking from the three-point line, but I think she was 1 for 7 in the first half. And what I always love the response back, right? Making some steals on defense, getting in there, attacking off the bounce, setting up something for somebody else. And I had just gotten on her pretty good. She had a turnover and a missed assignment on defense, and then came back in and made that big play, big three. And I love her competitive response. And London's a huge piece for us. And I really was hoping to get her going more. I felt like we weren't getting her enough quality threes. I thought she got them tonight and just didn't make them, but I don't want her to lose heart. I know what she's earned, and I know who she is and the time she puts in. I want her to feel confident. If it's your shot, you shoot your shot.
We're going to go front row in the middle.
Coach, I think it was 2019. Is before the pandemic is all, but you all have faced Creighton here before in this building. What is going to be familiar about this meeting on Monday, and what's going to be different? Because obviously both teams are completely different.
Yeah, well, they have 5 seniors, and they are incredibly experienced. And watching that UNLV game, wow, they are just so disciplined. He is one of the best coaches, and Jim is one of the best coaches in the country. I've watched him year after year after year, and so they're going to give us everything. When that bracket came out, I said, wow, they're going to be a big challenge. And I've already been studying some film on them, preparing. I've had to prepare for all three possible opponents this weekend. And, they use off-ball screens as well as anybody in the country. And they just keep coming. And it's going to be really important that we communicate away from the ball. We switch a lot of ball screens, but we don't usually do that off the ball, and they're going to put us in some difficult situations that way. I don't think they've changed that much. I just think they're extremely experienced and very, very well coached.
That's all we have time for. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate all you guys being here. I do have one last thing. We had 9,000 here today. Can we beat that Monday? Can we just get the buzz out? And we can't beat that if you guys aren't continuing to help us build that story. It's really important to us. So thank you in advance, and let's keep the buzz going, and let's pack this place Monday. Thank you.
We've got the California Baptist head coach and student athletes up on the press dais. We're going to start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes first. Coach, go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I just want to thank all you guys for coming. Pretty awesome experience for us. I said the other day, this is the first time we've been to the NCAA tournament, and it wasn't just our team that was here. It was our whole community. Just having, so many fans, so many students, and just people here supporting us was pretty amazing. I think we didn't win the game, but we definitely showed what CBU is capable of, both on the court and off. And I'm just really proud to be, a Lancer and just to kind of be a part of the night where, we brought so many people to the game. And, we're playing at Pauley Pavilion against UCLA, and just the journey that our school has been on, which, I've talked about, the last week or so. It was just really cool. So, thank you guys for coming and covering us. And, it was just a great night for us, even though we did lose.
We're going to open it up to questions for the student athletes. Start with a green sweater in the third row.
Joe Reedy, Associated Press, Kinsley and Nene. You got on the 9-0 run to get within 3 there late in the second quarter, and then how much of a momentum buster was it, that run that they made late in the half and going double digits into the locker room?
I think, it obviously sucked, but I think we're just a really resilient team, and we don't think the game's over till the last buzzer buzzes. So things happen during the game, momentum swing back and forth between teams, but we're not going to stop till the game's over.
We did make UCLA call 2 timeouts.
We're going to go with the green blazer on the far side.
So I guess, what did you guys think of UCLA? How far do you think this team could go?
If I'm being honest, maybe next round, the round after that, I think we did a really good job of exploiting their defense, and then they weren't hitting shots on the perimeter, so that was the game plan, and it was successful until they started to get the hustle plays with Gabrielle Jaquez. She started to get the momentum for them, so maybe next round after that.
I mean, I used to work at Creighton. Flannery's one of my good friends, so I'm going to say they're going to lose Knicks, but he probably won't be glad that I said that, so.
Third row in the white top, yeah.
Hi, Haley Sawyer, SoCal News Group. I know you guys were kind of excited to just like show the world CBU basketball. So what do you think you kind of showed the world tonight?
CBU basketball, and that we're great at it, that we can play Power 5, non-Power 5. We've been doing this entire year, and I think we showed great resiliency. Even though we were down a lot, we still play hard until we seen 0-0. The buzzer went off.
We'll go second row on the far side, near side.
Kurt Sandoval from ABC7. Congratulations on a great year. Kind of picking up off what Coach said, it wasn't just about your program, it was about the student body and the whole community. I know sometimes when you get on the court, it's like white noise, but did you feel an energy and what it meant for you to have that kind of showing out there tonight?
We'll have Nene start and then go down the line.
Yeah, I think the fans were our sixth player, especially today. Definitely heard them, had their energy when we went on runs, and then that just kept the momentum going. So definitely for the community, and we felt it.
Yeah, I think our community is pretty tight-knit, and I think them coming out tonight showed that. Just feel so thankful and blessed that they all took the drive, even though it's down the road. That's just pretty awesome to be there to support us. And it goes to show how much of an impact you can make, not even on the court, but those around you as well. So I'm just really thankful for that.
Any more questions for student athletes on the far side?
Nene, is ESPN going to hire you to do some halftime analysis and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm ready. Sure. If they call me, I'm here.
She's on ESPN Plus about 24/7, so.
Yeah. You'd be great at it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Third row.
ESPN. Oof.
I know there were no players from that 2021 team on the roster on this year's, but for both of you, what does it feel like getting this, program into the NCAA tournament and kind of building off what they did?
We'll start with Nene.
I think it means everything. I think J.O. is a great coach, so every year he emphasizes the same things, the same goals, the same values. So with that, it just helps us get better on the court and off the court and then just have a closer bond with each other.
I would say from last year to this year, there's been a great jump from just character and really installing our values, not just hearing them and being that's what we believe in, but that's what we are and that's all we know. I think just the people around us made it so every game you're just not playing for yourself, you're playing for the girls around you, and whether it's coaches, whether it's your teammates, there's just no greater feeling than being on this team this year, and I'm just very thankful.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, ladies.
Expect us to see us back next year. Do their thing.
Good job, guys.
We're going to open it up for questions for Coach. We'll start with Joe.
Jared, how much, obviously you scout Gabriella Jaquez before coming into the game, but with her at the 4 and doing a lot of different things, just how much of a difference was she in this game?
Well, she looked like her older brother, which was a bad thing for us. She played great. We were not surprised by that. We kind of prepared all week for bigger lineups, and we're not going to complain that Betts didn't play. Obviously that was something we looked at, we're oh, well, that's good, for us. But Jaquez played great, and like I said, I had seen her play since she was a sophomore in high school, because she's from the area, and we knew she was capable of doing great things. She has such a good motor. And you could just see it. I mean, they said it was just the hustle plays, and she really sparked them. And just defensively, she's really tough, especially because we're not super big either. So, being a little smaller for us, they probably matched up slightly a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, you just added another elite defender to an elite defensive team. And so it was a tough night for us in that way.
And then was there any point pregame or maybe even during the game you just kind of looked out and like, we're here?
Yeah, I definitely think that happened. I know when I was watching the game before Creighton was playing UNLV, and you could kind of feel the crowd starting to come in. It wasn't quite all the way there, and I was sitting with two of my assistants, Brittany and Camille, that had played for me when we were Division II, and I just looked at them and I said, we are not in Van Dyne Gym anymore, because we used to play in this 1,000-seat gym that was super small, and you're just looking around, you're at Pauley Pavilion. And the crowd is coming in, and it's a typical LA coming in a little bit late crowd, but it just had all the feelings of like a game, like that you would watch on TV, and it was just really cool. And then right before the game, Angie and one of my other assistants who's been with me for 10 years, and her and Camille and Britt were just sitting there, and I just walked down the line, I said, and this is no disrespect to Holy Names, but they used to be in our conference when we were Division II. I said, guys, that is not Holy Names over there. That is UCLA. And it was just one of those moments where you're like, here we are. This is pretty cool. And I was just really glad to be able to share it with them, and because we have come a long ways. And then just like, sorry, I'm going to be rambling here for a couple minutes, but like just looking across the way, like, we were scouting the game before, like, you guys probably don't know this, but I used to work at Creighton, and the lady who got me my first job, Connie Yori, she's an assistant coach there. I was an assistant coach for Flannery for 4 years. I helped recruit Chevy, one of his assistants. I also coached Chevy, and then also Jenny Burns, their Dobo. I shared an office with her for 2 years. And just kind of like seeing all those people across the way from me as I'm doing my job over here. The sports information director for there used to be my roommate on the road. And it just kind of like was a pretty awesome experience for me just to connect all of those people with the current group of people that I'm connected with CBU. To me, it was just like a great full circle moment. And to do it in, probably the most iconic venue, on the West Coast, it was a great night for me. It's as good as you can feel losing by 29 points, but it was great.
We're going to go in the third row in the white top.
Hi, Haley Sawyer, SoCal News Group.
Yes.
You kind of touched on this already, but when you realized that Lauren Betts wasn't going to be playing tonight, did that affect anything that you were planning on?
Sadly, I mean, I guess it did a little bit. I mean, we'd spent all week working on double teaming her because she's such a great player, and obviously we hope that she comes back soon. Because it's just, you want to see the best players out there. And all we did was, all right, we're just going to play regular defense now. We weren't going to double team in the post, but I don't think it would have, they won by 29 points still, so, I don't know if that would have made that much of a difference, but yeah, she's great, so hopefully she'll come back soon.
Third row on the near side.
Hate to be a downer here, but you have an NCAA tournament team.
Yeah.
With the transfer portal and everything, obviously bigger programs are going to look. Just what's the task of keeping this roster together, but also what makes it appealing maybe that somebody might look at you guys now?
Yeah, I think CBU is, we've lost kids for the last couple of years. We've had kids transfer to Power 5 schools. But we also have some good transfers. Nay and Kinsley are both transfers. So it kind of goes both ways. I think the one thing in general that makes you do is just really appreciate and cherish the team that you have currently, because you don't always know that that's going to be the team that comes back. And so I'm just really appreciative of the girls that I was able to coach this year. I think my number one goal at the beginning of the year was just to enjoy the season. The last 2 years have been tough on me personally, just coaching, but this team really let me coach them. And I think that when you mentioned the transfer portal, that's the one thing that I think gets missed is that, with people being able to just get out whenever they want, you don't have to stick. I think a lot of coaches don't get the opportunity to coach their team in the best way that they can, and this team let me do it. And I'm just really appreciative of that and very thankful to them, and I won't forget that.
Any more questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys very much for coming.